I'm Mike Bird, the AI and engineering lead at Box Ventures and the host of the Tool Use podcast. I've been a software developer for 10 years, working on AI tooling for the last 3. I absolutely love building the innovation that comes with new technologies and being able to empower and unlock people, as well as spread the technology to everyone that can benefit from it. I'm working on a system to help the entire investment pipeline, from discovery to due diligence to portfolio support, while simultaneously educating the teams so they can develop their own tooling so that they're not all reliant on engineering, as well as educating the masses on the current state-of-the-art tooling that provides real benefits instead of just the theoretical things or the hype that they'll hear on the internet. AI Agents Waterloo has been an awesome organization for getting together a group of very enthusiastic people who are trying to build the future. On top of the fulfilling nature of being able to meet people who are equally passionate about something that I am, the ability to learn about what people are building and come together to discuss topics that you really have trouble finding an audience for has been incredibly rewarding, because you're able to go into this level of detail and get opinions that you're not going to get online from reading blogs or watching videos, because you get those live reactions and real examples of how people are putting this into practice day to day. The potential for AI to really revolutionize society is understated a lot of the times these days. The ability to advance medical technology and clean technology to provide improvements to human health and world health are within reach with this technology. I think it is going to be the most fundamental change to humanity that's ever happened. And being able to play my small little part in spreading the word and getting people excited about it so they can build, develop, and try to help bring that optimistic, positive future is incredibly rewarding.
My name is Deb, and I'm building a startup where we're launching a product called CoAgent, which is for orchestrating, testing, evaluating, and monitoring AI agents. So everyone is building AI-based software. Everyone is building software that is full of AI everywhere, and there's not a lot of testing. There's a lot of vibe building, and there's a lot of messy products. So I'm building something to solve that problem of unreliable agentic AI products. I have built things to detect security incidents in highly secure facilities. I have built solutions with audio, video, text. I've built solutions in e-commerce. And now it's come to pass that a lot of these things have become similar to each other. There's a lot of consolidation. There's a lot of new information. In this space, you just try to work in community, help share your experience with the others, and then your product and solutions, whatever you build, is that much more grounded in reality. Right? It was perfect because it was well thought out. Waterloo Tech Week is awesome, and Mike and my topics serendipitously complemented each other, and it was just a perfect jump off point, and everyone seemed very attentive, learned new things, and networking is great. And yeah.
So I'm Ian Pilon, and I am excited about the intersection of technology and humans, in particular how we are evolving with them and how it shapes who we are wanting to become. I am also a published author on this book, which is about contextual intelligence. And that's what the theme was tonight, well, context engineering. But I sort of got fascinated about the topic of contextual intelligence and applied it to how I learn and how I serve others in my role. So the more that I took away from what Jeff Jonas described as his definition fits, which is to understand something by taking into consideration the things around it, literally allows you to understand. We think we try to memorize a lot of things, but when you truly understand something, it just becomes part of your ability to reason about and think about this material. So I just used it as a mental model. Jeff Jonas was using it in computation, but I'm like, well, I'm going to apply that principle into how I'm working with my clients. And I was able to learn faster. So I was able to say, okay, well, if I know nothing about finance, what are the boundary spaces of finance? Just like I was talking about that puzzle. What is the farthest edges I can go to think about that topic? Once you understand your boundary space and you can't go any further, then you can work your way in, and then you have a mental model of this concept. As you've seen with the other guests, when they get into the topic of context engineering, it is like a subset of saying, well, LLMs happened or large language models happened, and we're learning how to play with that technology. So when you're engineering something, we're learning now that, okay, this new technology has limitations. And when you discover those and you're in your career or wherever your job is and you've got to really deliver, you have to understand how to play with the technology and then build with it. That's what got me excited is really just being able to learn and apply that learning. So I got to discover well, through writing this book, Michael Levin's in it, and that was a really deep rabbit hole on memory, but I also really have a new appreciation for what that means, and applying the things that you're excited about is going to reinforce your learning and allow you to absorb it even more. But after I talked to Jeff Jonas, who agreed to talk to me for an hour about this subject, that led to me realizing this isn't a podcast. This is something I am so passionate about it. Why don't I go talk to other people about it? So I started finding other people that were using that term into a different domain. So another guy in the book is Nick Shackleton Jones. He's using context related to memory in affective context. I'm going to talk to this guy, unpack that more. So he's in it. And then that led to one of my other idols, Bob Mesta, who is the co-creator of Jobs to Be Done framework, who said context is more important than product. And I'm like, what does that mean? I've been designing products for 20 years. How can this topic of context be more important than the product? So he's in the book. But yeah, so I get all of these people that I admire and I just interview them for an hour and I talk about what does it mean to you in your world? How are you using it? And then I stitch it into a narrative where instead of going like to the biological level and everything else, I wanted to say, well, I'm in the world of product. How can I craft all of these stories into something that is framed around doing product development, or an entrepreneur starting a business? So that's how I sort of constrained it to be within that boundary so that it wasn't out of the world. Like, it's such a deep topic. You cannot escape the fact that you are a biological agent, and it begs the question and makes you ask yourself, how am I evolving and changing and thriving into a world where you can't just ignore the fact that technology is shaping my life, my family, and my kids? I can feel it all the time, that it's this ever evolving interaction with all of our relationships. It's powerful, so I want to be, as I mentioned earlier, in the osmosis of where people are talking about it, how they're using it, and then that way I just learn. I'm like, oh, they're using it differently in all these different ways. How close is it, right? And then if I'm going to play with it, how would I play with it? So that's that. And then the community part, as I mentioned, is even more important than the technology. So hopefully that answers your question.